There is a reason the sages declared that the word is power. In Speak Like God, unlock the divine power of your words, you will rediscover that your voice is not mere sound, but sacred force clothed in breath. Each phrase you utter carries a frequency that shapes the field of your life. As you enter these teachings, you will feel your speech transforming into a creative command. Speak Like God. Introduction. Before there was form, there was sound. Before there was matter, there was the Word. And that same current of creation now moves through you, waiting upon your breath. Your voice is not a casual instrument of communication. It is the living current between the invisible and the visible, between thought and embodied reality. Hidden within every syllable you release is a sacred vibration, a subtle resonance that travels beyond the ears and impresses itself upon the very substance of life. The ancient mystics guarded this knowing. Creation begins in consciousness, but it is sealed and summoned through the spoken word. When you speak in harmony with universal truth, your words cease to be mere language. They become creative decree. As the infinite once spoke worlds into being through the eternal Logos, so too have you been entrusted with the gift of sound made manifest. Every word carries a tone, every tone carries a frequency, and every frequency calls forth its likeness from the unseen field around you. The universe listens not only to your phrases, but to the awareness from which they arise. Words spoken from doubt scatter like leaves in the wind, but words born of inner certainty strike the fabric of reality like a tuning fork, compelling it to vibrate in response. This is why empty affirmations dissolve into silence, while a single sentence, spoken in deep knowing, can rearrange destiny. To speak like the divine is to remember your union with the creative source. Your voice is a sacred instrument, and each declaration is a note in the great symphony of becoming. When you infuse your speech with presence, with feeling, with conscious authority, you no longer speak about life, you speak into it. This path is not about eloquence or poetic mastery. It is about returning to the still center within you, the silent altar where your being and the infinite are one. From that holy quiet, your words emerge charged with truth and reality, obedient to its own laws, reshapes itself according to the tone you have chosen. The ancients understood. Sacred speech was never about finding better words. It was about becoming the frequency from which true words are born. And when you become that frequency, even the simplest phrase becomes a command to the cosmos, an utterance through which you begin, at last, to speak like God. Before we get into the book, comment "I am ready" to affirm your intention to the universe. Part 1. The Power Beneath the Word. Chapter 1. The Secret Voice Within. In the depths of every spoken word lies a sacred vibration, a truth known intimately by those who have discovered the hidden language of the universe. Take Millie Russo, who found herself drawn to an antique mirror each evening, whispering words of power into its silvered surface. At first she felt foolish, speaking affirmations to her own reflection. Yet something stirred within her during these twilight conversations, a resonance that transcended the mere meaning of words. Night after night, Millie noticed that when her heart aligned with her voice, her words carried a different weight, It wasn't about the sophistication of her language or the volume of her speech. The power emerged from the feeling tone beneath each syllable, the emotional current that gave life to her declarations. The universe responds not to empty words, but to the frequency of feeling that pulses through them. This truth revealed itself to Benny Costa during a period of overwhelming anxiety. In his darkest moments, he began speaking gratitude aloud, not as a desperate plea, but as a gentle acknowledgement of life's gifts. As he practiced this ritual, something remarkable occurred. The very act of voicing appreciation shifted his internal state from turbulence to tranquility. Through this transformation, Benny discovered that words spoken from peace carry the seeds of their own fulfillment. When he ceased struggling against reality and instead addressed it with loving intention, solutions materialized as naturally as dawn follows night. His experience affirms an ancient wisdom. The power of speech lies not in the words themselves, but in the harmonious blend of heart and voice. These stories illuminate a fundamental truth. Your voice is a bridge between the seen and unseen realms. When you speak with emotional coherence, you tap into the creative current that flows through all things. Your words become more than sound waves. They become architects of experience, shaping the subtle energies that govern manifestation. Ancient practice of tonal alignment. As darkness settles each evening, find a quiet space. Draw in a deep breath, letting it fill your being with peaceful presence. Then, with gentle authority, speak these words into the silence. I align my tone with love. Allow the vibration to resonate in your chest cavity, feeling its ripples spread through your body. Rest in the stillness that follows, listening as the silence reflects your declaration back to you, like waves returning to shore. Maintain this sacred communion until you sense your inner rhythm, finding its natural, serene flow. Chapter 2. Commanding the Field of Possibility. You stand at the threshold of a profound understanding, one that has beckoned souls across ages. Just as Rosie Merino discovered while threading her needle through soft fabric, the power of intention flows through every action, every whispered word. As she worked at her sewing table, gentle murmurs of hope and possibility escaped her lips, each stitch becoming a vessel for her dreams. Without conscious awareness, she wove more than mere curtains. She crafted a field of manifesting energy that slowly transformed her workspace into a reflection of her heart's desires. This ancient wisdom reveals that your thoughts combined with genuine emotion create an energetic field, one that shapes the very fabric of reality around you. Your voice serves as the catalyst, the sacred flame that ignites this potential into being. When you speak with conscious intention, you release stagnant patterns and awaken dormant possibilities that have waited patiently for your command. Consider Frankie Dell, who mastered this art through an unexpected channel: laughter. In moments of discord, when others might have succumbed to anger or fear, he chose to speak with lightness and joy. His words, carried on waves of genuine mirth, transformed seemingly chaotic situations into harmonious outcomes. Through his experience, we glimpse a fundamental truth. Levity carries divine power, allowing the Logos, the creative force of the universe, to transmute darkness into light, conflict into dance. The voice that emerges from your depths holds more power than you may realize. It is not the precision of your grammar or the eloquence of your speech that moves mountains. It is the emotional resonance carried within each syllable. As you align your words with the frequency of your truest intentions, you participate in the ongoing creation of your reality. The universe responds not to the surface of your words, but to the depth of feeling beneath them. This is why Rosie's simple murmurs while sewing held such potency. They flowed from a place of pure, unfiltered desire. Similarly, Frankie's laughter carried transformative power because it emerged from authentic joy rather than forced positivity. Tonight, as darkness embraces your room, practice this timeless ritual. Speak softly into the quiet air. Every cell in me echoes abundance. Allow your voice to vibrate through your entire being, feeling the resonance in your bloodstream. Watch as the space around you begins to shimmer with the certainty of your words, each molecule of air dancing in harmony with your declaration. This is how you begin to speak the language of creation itself. Chapter 3. The Frequency of Belief. In the dawn's gentle light, a truth emerges, one that beckons you toward mastery of the creative force that shapes existence itself. The voice you carry within holds more power than you may realize, yet its strength lies not in volume, but in the depth of conviction it carries. When Lena Capri first began her practice of speaking intentions at sunrise, her words drifted like leaves on the wind, beautiful, but lacking the weight to take root in reality's soil. Day after day she recited her desires, yet the universe seemed unmoved. It wasn't until that pivotal morning when something shifted within her, not in the words themselves, but in the resonance behind them. As certainty filled her tone, reality began to bend toward her voice like flowers turning to face the sun. This unveils a cardinal truth. The power of speech lies not in the precision of your words, but in the conviction that pulses through them. When you speak with belief, each syllable becomes a seed planted in the fertile field of possibility. Your voice becomes the bridge between the unseen and the manifest, between potential and reality. Johnny Rizzo's journey reveals another layer of this wisdom. Where once his voice trembled before his fears, he discovered an alchemical truth, that even our deepest anxieties can be transformed through conscious speech. Instead of battling his fears, he began addressing them as teachers, as guides pointing toward growth. "Welcome, uncertainty," he would say. "Show me where I need to grow stronger." Through this practice, his voice ceased to be an instrument of resistance and became a tool of transformation. The universal law responds not to desperate pleading, but to assured declaration. Each word you speak carries a frequency, and that frequency must match the reality you wish to create. This is not mere positive thinking. It is the art of aligning your voice with the creative force of the universe itself. The wisdom keepers of old understood. Belief is not an act of hoping or wishing. True belief is the recognition of what already exists in the quantum field of all possibility. When you speak from this place of knowing, your words become commands to the fabric of reality itself. Sacred practice. Find a quiet space as the day draws to a close. Close your eyes and imagine your deepest desire as if it has already manifested. Now speak as though that dream is expressing gratitude to you. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for giving me life through your unwavering faith. Let your words carry the warmth of accomplishment rather than the weight of wanting. Feel how different this is from speaking from a place of lack. This is the voice of creation itself, speaking through you, acknowledging the power you hold to shape reality through conscious speech. Chapter 4. Language made of light. In the weaving of existence, your words paint reality with either luminous hope or heavy shadow. This truth became evident through Sophie Gallo's transformation, a testament to the power that dwells within conscious speech. Sophie once filled her days with elaborate descriptions of what troubled her. "Everything's going wrong," she would say, and like an artist with a dark palette, her words sketched shadows across her world. Problems multiplied wherever her attention landed. A missed opportunity here, a difficult relationship there, until her reality became a canvas of complications. But wisdom found her through an ancient teaching. Words are vessels of light, carriers of divine intention. When Sophie began to shift her speech, blessing each challenge instead of cursing it, something remarkable occurred. "This obstacle brings me strength," she would declare, and slowly her world began to shimmer with new possibility. What once appeared as barriers transformed into stepping stones, each challenge unveiling its hidden gift. The universe responds to the quality of light within your words. When you speak from resistance, reality reflects that discord. But when you infuse your speech with blessing, the very atoms of existence realign to mirror that harmony. This is not mere optimism. It is the science of conscious creation through illuminated speech. Jimmy Baldo's experience deepens this understanding. He discovered that language carries geometric patterns of energy, visible to the inner eye. Each time he spoke, he visualized his words as streams of golden light flowing into the world. This simple practice transformed his daily interactions. Conversations that once felt heavy with conflict began to sparkle with possibility. Business meetings flowed with unexpected grace. Even casual exchanges seemed to dance with a new radiance. Through Jimmy's practice, we glimpse a fundamental truth. Your words literally shape the light patterns of reality around you. Every sentence you utter sends ripples through the quantum field, creating matrices of energy that either illuminate or obscure your path. When you speak with conscious intention, you become a light bearer, transmitting patterns of harmony into the world. Your voice becomes a brush, painting reality with strokes of golden possibility. This is the ancient art of light language, speech that carries the frequency of transformation itself. Sacred practice. Close your eyes and settle into stillness. For 1 minute, envision your words as geometric patterns of golden light dancing in the space around you. See each syllable emanating waves of luminous energy, creating beautiful forms in the air. Then, with calm certainty, speak these words. My words illuminate my path. Notice how the tension in your body dissolves into music, how the very air seems to shimmer with possibility. This is your birthright, to speak with the light of creation itself. Chapter 5. The Tone That Creates Worlds. In the quietude of her small garden, Nina Moretti stumbled upon one of the universe's most treasured secrets. Each morning she would lean close to her flowers, whispering words of love and encouragement. "You are beautiful," she would murmur to a tiny rosebud. "Your strength amazes me," she would tell a struggling seedling. What unfolded before her eyes defied conventional understanding. Her garden transformed into an explosion of vibrant life, blooming with an intensity that caught the attention of all who passed by. The wisdom revealed through Nina's garden speaks to a profound truth. The universe responds first to the vibration carried within your voice, before it registers the meaning of your words. Like music that moves you before you understand its lyrics, it is the energetic quality of speech that commands the attention of universal forces. Your voice carries a spectrum of frequencies, each one painting the quantum field with distinct colors of intention. When you speak with genuine warmth, you transmit a vibration that reality itself cannot help but mirror back to you. The plants in Nina's garden responded not to her words, but to the pure love flowing through her tone. This truth found further validation through Teddy Romano's mirror experiments. Standing before his reflection each morning, he noticed how harsh self-criticism literally dimmed the light in his eyes, casting shadows across his features. Yet when he shifted to words of self-appreciation, his entire countenance would brighten, as if illuminated from within. The mirror simply reflected back the energetic signature of his speech. Through these experiences, we uncover a fundamental law. Tone is the architect of manifestation. Before thought becomes form, it must first become frequency. Your voice serves as the bridge between these realms, carrying the blueprint of your intentions into the physical world. When you speak with joy, you command joy to manifest. When you speak with peace, you draw peace into being. The ancient practice of tonal alchemy. Before you speak today, pause and allow a smile to blossom from within your heart center. Let this inner smile infuse your voice with its warmth and light. Feel how your words naturally rise upon this current of joy, carrying your intentions into the world with grace and power. This simple practice aligns your speech with the highest frequencies of creation, ensuring that every word you utter becomes a seed of positive manifestation. Chapter 6. Speaking as Energy Itself. The truth of vibrational reality revealed itself to Clara Vento through an unexpected awakening. Day after day, she found herself in heated disputes with circumstances, her voice rising in protest against life's apparent resistance. Each complaint, each frustrated utterance, seemed to multiply the very challenges she fought against. Then one morning, while watching waves ripple across a pond, understanding dawned like the first rays of sunrise. She recognized that she, too, was nothing more than waves of energy expressing through form. Her arguments weren't separate from her reality. They were creating it moment by moment. In this realization, Clara's relationship with speech transformed. She ceased viewing words as tools to combat circumstances and began understanding them as electromagnetic signatures shaping the field of possibility. Her voice softened, not from resignation but from power. The power of one who knows they are the source, not the victim. When you speak, you don't simply form sounds. You emit specific frequencies that ripple through the quantum field, instructing reality itself. Every utterance carries a unique energetic pattern that molds the invisible substrate of creation. This is why identical words spoken with different feelings produce vastly different results. Henry Cato's experience brings this principle into sharper focus. Walking through ordinary days, he began imagining each kind word he spoke as pure light flowing from his heart. This simple practice transformed mundane moments into portals of wonder. The checkout clerk, who had always seemed cold, suddenly smiled warmly. A chance encounter led to an unexpected opportunity. small coincidences aligned with remarkable precision. Henry's story illuminates an essential truth. Gentle speech creates a stable, energetic field that allows miracles to unfold naturally. When your voice carries the frequency of peace, reality arranges itself peacefully around you. When your words flow from harmony, life responds with harmonious circumstances. The power lies not in forcing change through vigorous declaration, but in maintaining a consistent vibration of gentle awareness. Your voice becomes a tuning fork, setting the pitch to which the universe harmonizes. Ancient practice. Find a quiet space where you can be undisturbed. Take 3 deep breaths, allowing each exhalation to carry away any tension. Then, with your hand resting lightly on your rib cage, whisper the words, "I am frequency manifest." Feel how each syllable creates subtle ripples through your body. Let the phrase echo in your chest, as if your very cells are absorbing its truth. This is not an affirmation to be repeated mechanically, but a remembrance of your true nature as living vibration. Chapter 7. Words as Creative Winds. Long ago, the ancient ones understood a truth that modern life has caused many to forget. The wind itself carries the power of creation within its unseen currents. This wisdom revealed itself anew through Maggie Fiore's remarkable discovery. Each morning, as dawn painted the sky in gentle hues, Maggie would step into her garden and speak her deepest intentions to the morning breeze. What began as an intuitive practice soon yielded extraordinary results. Her spoken words, carried on the wind's invisible wings, manifested with startling precision. The universe, it seemed, responded more swiftly to prayers whispered into the moving air than to those held silently in thought. This revelation unveils a fundamental truth about the nature of creation. Your voice doesn't merely dissipate into empty space. It merges with the very breath of existence. Each word you speak rides upon cosmic currents, touching realms far beyond your immediate perception. The wind, nature's eternal messenger, amplifies your creative force, carrying your intentions to the furthest reaches of possibility. Lou DeLuca's experience further illuminates this principle. Frustrated with traditional journaling, he began speaking his thoughts aloud while writing them down. His words, released into the atmosphere like fertile seeds, soon sprouted into a garden of synchronized events. What appeared as random coincidences revealed themselves as direct responses to his voiced intentions. Opportunities aligned, paths cleared, and solutions emerged as if orchestrated by an unseen hand. This practice demonstrates that the universe is not a passive observer, but an attentive listener, constantly responding to the frequencies you broadcast. When you speak your truth into the air, you're not just releasing sound, you're programming the matrix of reality itself. Every word carries a specific vibration that ripples through the quantum field, attracting corresponding circumstances and events. The air around you is alive with potential, waiting to be shaped by your voiced intentions. Like an invisible ocean of possibility, it responds to the energy signature of your words, transforming thought into form through the alchemical power of speech. Practice. Step outside, where the ancient air awaits your voice. Let your intention rise naturally from your heart to your lips. Speak it gently into the wind, feeling the words merge with the cosmic breath. Then pause and sense the pregnant stillness that follows. This is the moment when creation begins its dance with your spoken truth. Chapter 8. The Harmony of Silence and Sound. In the depths of her practice, Ellie Caro uncovered a truth that had eluded her for years. Her daily affirmations, once mechanical recitations, felt increasingly hollow when pushed through gritted teeth. The revelation came not in speaking, but in the spaces between words. Through the passing seasons, she learned to befriend silence, not as emptiness to be filled, but as the sacred vessel that gives speech its power. Like the white space that allows letters to be read on a page, silence became the canvas upon which her words painted reality. The universe speaks in whispers, not shouts. When you force manifestation through clenched determination, you often push away the very essence you seek to attract. The creative force flows most purely through a vessel at peace, through words that emerge naturally from stillness. In the realm of energy, silence holds equal power to speech. It is the in-breath to speaking's out-breath, the yin to language's yang. Without this balance, words lose their anchoring in the infinite field of possibility. They become untethered, like leaves scattered in a storm rather than seeds planted with purpose. Benny Trento's experience illuminates this principle with crystalline clarity. Before entering high-stakes meetings, he would find a quiet corner and sink into stillness. From this space of centered awareness, he would release just one intention, soft as morning dew, clear as mountain air. The effect was remarkable. Rooms full of competing agendas would mysteriously align, as if guided by an invisible hand toward harmony. His approach demonstrated that influence flows not from the volume or quantity of words, but from their resonance with silence. One word spoken from stillness carries more creative power than 1,000 launched from chaos. This teaches us that manifestation is not a forceful act, but a dance with silence. The space between your words is as vital as the words themselves. It is in these gaps that the universe breathes its response, where intention settles into the field of infinite potential. When you honor silence as your partner in creation, your voice naturally attunes to the frequency of manifestation. Words emerge not from striving, but from being, each syllable carried on the wings of peaceful certainty. The wisdom keepers of old knew this secret well. They understood that true power lies not in filling every moment with sound, but in allowing silence to mature your words like wine, aging in sacred caves. Your voice becomes most potent when it rises from depths of stillness, carrying with it the authority of the unseen. Ancient practice. Find a quiet space where you can be undisturbed. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Notice the natural pause between each inhalation and exhalation. This is the space where creation begins. Hold your next intention in this silence, letting it rest in the cradle of stillness. When the moment feels ripe, not forced, but naturally ready, release your word softly into existence. Feel how it carries the power of the silence within it, like a vessel holding precious water. Let the ripples of your speaking fade back into stillness, completing the sacred cycle of creation. Part 2. The Logos in Motion. Chapter 9. Emotional Timbre and Manifestation. In the depths of ancient wisdom lies a truth so simple yet transformative. Your voice carries music beyond mere words. This revelation unfolded naturally for Grace Lupo, who discovered that gratitude expressed in melody held a power that transcended ordinary speech. Rather than merely stating her thankfulness, she allowed it to flow in gentle songs throughout her day. as she hummed her appreciation while preparing breakfast, sang softly while tending her garden, and created simple melodies of thanks before sleep, the very fabric of her reality began to shift in harmony with her musical expressions. The universe, you see, responds not just to words but to the emotional frequencies that underpin them. When gratitude rises as song, it creates vibrational patterns that align more purely with the natural rhythms of creation. Your emotions are not simply feelings, they are cosmic chords striking the strings of existence itself. This truth becomes clearer through Tony Pilo's experience. Faced with mounting challenges, he made a remarkable choice. Instead of voicing his frustrations in the usual way, he began transforming them into playful tunes. A delayed train became an impromptu blues melody. A difficult work situation transformed into a light-hearted ditty. What started as a simple coping mechanism revealed itself as a powerful tool for reality transformation. As Tony's story shows, joy expressed through sound carries a unique capacity to reorganize energy patterns. When you laugh or sing through difficulties, you're not merely changing your perspective. You're literally recalibrating the frequency of the situation. This is why children, in their natural wisdom, often sing spontaneously. They instinctively understand what many adults have forgotten, that melody can reshape reality more effectively than logic ever could. The ancient mystery schools taught that creation itself began with a song, the primordial sound from which all things emerged. When you align your voice with joy, you tap into this original creative force. Your emotions become instruments in the universal orchestra, playing notes that can reorganize matter itself. This is not about performing perfect music. It's about allowing your authentic emotional expression to flow in melodic form. Whether through humming, whistling, or simple tonal expressions, you're participating in the ongoing song of creation. When gratitude becomes melody, when challenges transform into harmonies, you're speaking the original language of the universe. Ancient practice. Find a quiet moment and allow yourself to settle into stillness. Think of your desired outcome, not the specifics, but the feeling it evokes. Begin to hum this feeling, allowing the tone to emerge naturally from your heart. Don't judge the sound. Let it be pure emotional expression. After a few moments of humming, gently speak aloud what you desire, carrying the same resonance you felt in your humming. Let your words emerge from this harmonic foundation, blessing them with the power of melody. Chapter 10. The Name That Moves Reality. In the silence of dawn, a wisdom as ancient as breath itself whispers through time. Names carry power. This truth emerged through Ivy Sarah's remarkable journey of self-discovery. Each morning, she would gaze into the mirror and address herself not as she was, but as she intended to become. "Dr. Sarah," she would say, tasting the vibration of those words, allowing them to reshape her energy field. She spoke this name not from a place of pretense, but from the depths of knowing. For names are more than mere labels. They are energetic signatures that ripple through the quantum field. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, recognizes and responds to the names we claim with conviction. When you speak a name infused with the power of belief, you create a bridge between current reality and desired manifestation. This is not mere positive thinking. It is the activation of an ancient law that governs the relationship between consciousness and form. This wisdom found further validation through Ricky Donato's transformative experience. He began a practice of greeting abundance as one would greet a cherished friend. "Good morning, abundance," he would say with genuine warmth, as naturally as one might greet a familiar neighbor. At first this felt unusual, perhaps even foolish. Yet, as he persisted, something remarkable occurred. Abundance began responding to his recognition. The teaching here runs deeper than metaphor. When you name something with absolute faith, you establish a vibrational connection that transcends the apparent limitations of physical reality. Form must follow frequency. It is universal law. By naming your desired reality with unwavering conviction, you create an energetic template that reality itself must honor. This practice draws upon the sacred understanding that names contain the essence of that which they represent. In ancient traditions, to know something's true name was to have power over it. Today, this wisdom remains as potent as ever, though we apply it not for power over others, but for awakening the dormant possibilities within ourselves. Your chosen reality already exists in the infinite field of potential. By naming it with loving authority, you draw it from the realm of possibility into tangible experience. This is not wishful thinking, but practical metaphysics, the science of manifestation through conscious naming. Ancient practice. Find a quiet moment when you can be fully present. Close your eyes and center your awareness in your heart space. Now, with gentle authority and genuine love, speak the name of your chosen reality 3 times. It might be abundance, health, joy, or any other state you wish to embody. As you speak each time, feel the vibration of the name resonating within your chest cavity. Notice how each repetition deepens your connection to that frequency. Allow the echo of this naming to ripple through your being, knowing that reality must align with the names we claim in truth. Remember, the power lies not in the volume of your voice, but in the depth of your conviction. Name your reality not from a place of wanting, but from a space of already being. Chapter 11. The Sound of Decision. In the tapestry of universal law, few threads shine as brilliantly as the power of decisive speech. This truth revealed itself through Hazel Vanny's awakening moment. For years she dwelled in the shadows of uncertainty, her voice carrying the tremor of hesitation. Each maybe and perhaps scattered her creative energy like leaves in an autumn wind. Yet in one crystalline moment, standing in her garden as morning light painted the world anew, she spoke 3 words that altered the course of her existence. I decide now. The moment those words left her lips, the very air seemed to crystallize around her declaration. It was not the words themselves that held the power, but the unwavering certainty that rang through them. The universe, ever attentive to the frequency of conviction, began rearranging circumstances to match her newfound clarity. This reveals an essential truth about the nature of creation. Decisiveness acts as an amplifier for the creative force of speech. When your words carry the weight of absolute certainty, they cut through the fog of potential outcomes and carve a clear path through reality itself. Indecision, by contrast, creates interference patterns that scatter your manifesting energy across multiple possibilities, diluting its power. Arnie Costa's experience further illuminates this principle. Each morning, as the sun pierced the horizon, he would stand at his window and speak his choices into the dawn. I choose abundance. I choose purpose. I choose joy. These weren't mere affirmations. They were declarations of intent, each one vibrating with the certainty of natural law. As days turned to weeks, he witnessed the remarkable assembly of circumstances that aligned with his spoken choices. Opportunities appeared as if summoned, relationships transformed, and paths cleared before him. His story teaches us that speech acts as the final seal on our energetic agreements with the universe. When you declare with conviction, you're not merely expressing preference, you're signing a cosmic contract with reality itself. The universe responds not to the volume of your voice, but to the unwavering certainty it carries. The wisdom traditions teach that indecision creates static in the field of infinite possibility. Each wavering thought sends contradictory signals into the quantum fabric of creation. But when you speak with decisiveness, you emit a clear frequency that the universe can readily match. Your words become like arrows of intent, flying straight and true toward their target. Ancient practice. Stand in a place where you feel connected to your inner power. Take 3 deep breaths to center yourself in the present moment. Now, identify one clear decision that awaits your voice. Feel the weight of hesitation, then consciously release it. With quiet authority, speak your decision aloud once, allowing each word to carry the full force of your conviction. Pause afterward and notice how the silence seems to acknowledge your declaration. The universe has heard, and the wheels of creation have begun to turn in response to your clear command. Chapter 12. Echoes of the Heart. Along the ancient shores where wisdom whispers through the ages, Julie Marino discovered a truth as old as the tides themselves. Each evening she would walk to the water's edge, speaking her deepest yearnings to the endless waves. At first it seemed a simple ritual of release, but soon she noticed something extraordinary. The ocean began answering back, not in words, but in rhythms that matched her heart's cadence. When she spoke from surface thoughts, the waves remained distant and unmoved. But when her voice emerged from the depths of authentic feeling, the water would surge forward, as if reaching out to embrace her words. Through this communion, she learned that the universe responds not to the volume of our voice, but to the depth of our sincerity. This mirrors an ageless principle. Creation itself is a living presence that recognizes and amplifies truth. When you speak from your heart's authentic core, you activate a resonance that extends far beyond the reach of mere sound waves. Your words become carriers of living energy, touching dimensions that the mind alone cannot reach. Peter Campos stumbled upon this same principle in the busy streets of his daily life. He began a practice so simple it seemed almost foolish at first, silently blessing each stranger he passed. "May light fill your path," he would whisper under his breath. "May joy find you today." He spoke these blessings not as formal prayers, but as genuine wishes flowing from his heart. Within weeks, his world transformed. Kindness began returning to him from unexpected sources, a stranger holding an elevator, a shop owner offering a spontaneous discount, a neighbor leaving fresh flowers at his door. The universe was echoing his heart's frequency back to him multiplied, demonstrating that every sincere blessing creates ripples in the field of infinite possibility. These experiences unveil a fundamental truth about the nature of sacred speech. The heart is not merely a physical organ, but a spiritual amplifier. When you allow your words to flow through this sacred chamber, They emerge charged with transformative power. This is why empty compliments fall flat, while heartfelt appreciation creates lasting change. Your voice carries this same potential for sacred resonance. Each time you speak from your heart's truth, you activate an ancient technology of transformation. Your sincere words become keys that unlock the universal storehouse of abundance, not through force or volume, but through the pure vibration of authentic feeling. Sacred practice. Place your hand gently upon your heart center. Feel its steady rhythm beneath your palm. Now, begin speaking words of gratitude, not from memory or habit, but from the well of genuine appreciation within you. Continue until you feel warmth spreading through your chest, replacing any trace of doubt or hesitation. Let your voice become a bridge between your heart's wisdom and the infinite intelligence that surrounds you. In this sacred resonance, you align with the very frequency of creation itself. Before we get into the next chapter, you can download a free ebook version of this audiobook using the link in the pinned comment below this video. Chapter 13. Words that Dissolve Fear. In a valley between ancient mountains, there lived a woman who carried her worries like heavy stones in her heart. Each morning, she would wake feeling their weight, until she discovered a truth that would transform her relationship with fear forever. When fear arose within her chest, rather than pushing it away or fighting against its presence, she began speaking to it with the tenderness one might offer a frightened child. "I see you," she would whisper, addressing her anxiety with gentle acknowledgement. To her amazement, the very act of giving voice to her fears with compassion began to dissolve their power. This truth reveals itself. The frequency of fear cannot sustain itself in the presence of loving speech. When you meet your deepest anxieties with the voice of understanding, you initiate an alchemical transformation within the quantum field of possibility. Lucy Arno embodied this wisdom when she stopped struggling against her inner storms. Instead of suppressing her fears or trying to banish them through force of will, she began addressing them with soft words of acceptance. Like frost beneath the morning sun, her fears began to dissolve naturally, teaching her that resistance creates persistence, while gentle acknowledgement leads to release. The power of this practice unveiled itself further through Albert Geno's discovery. In moments of greatest uncertainty, he chose to meet his fears with laughter rather than dread. His humorous approach wasn't mockery, but rather a loving lightness that transformed the energy of fear itself. By speaking to his anxieties with playful acceptance, he reprogrammed the very frequency of his experience. This ancient knowledge points to a fundamental truth. The voice that heals is not the voice of combat, but of compassion. When you speak to your fears with understanding, you alter their vibration at the most fundamental level. This is not mere positive thinking. It is the active engagement of universal law through conscious speech. Fear exists as a frequency in the field of consciousness. Like all frequencies, it can be modulated through intentional sound. The voice of love, carried on the breath of acceptance, has the power to transform any discordant vibration back into harmony. These teachings remind us that what you resist persists, but what you embrace with loving awareness transforms. Your voice holds the power to transmute fear into faith, anxiety into peace, through the simple act of compassionate expression. In this moment, let yourself experience this truth. Allow your voice to become an instrument of gentle power. Speak to whatever causes you concern with the same tenderness you would offer a beloved friend. Feel how this shift in tone creates a shift in the very fabric of your experience. Sacred practice. Find a quiet space where you can be alone with your thoughts. Place your hand over your heart and whisper softly to any apprehension you carry. Thank you for protecting me. I am safe now. Let these words float on your breath like petals on a stream, carrying away all that no longer serves you. Chapter 14. Atomic Conversation. Along the ancient stone paths of a mountain village, Nora Santino discovered a truth that would transform her understanding of healing. Each evening, exhausted from tending her herb garden, she began a peculiar ritual. Instead of merely willing her fatigue away, she spoke directly to her cells, addressing them as billions of tiny lights waiting to be awakened. "You are radiant with life," she would whisper to her hands. "You flow with infinite energy," she would tell her feet. Within days, her body responded as if awakening from a long slumber. Her fatigue dissolved not through external remedies, but through the simple act of loving acknowledgement. This reveals one of the most powerful metaphysical principles. Every atom in your physical form possesses consciousness, awaiting direction through the light of your voice. Your cells are not mere matter, but conscious receivers attuned to the frequency of your words. When you speak with intention to your body, you initiate a dance of light between consciousness and form. Harold Conti's experience further validates this wisdom. During his morning meditation, he began placing his hand over his heart, speaking words of gratitude for each beat. "Thank you for your perfect rhythm," he would say. "Your strength flows through my entire being." As he continued this practice, he noticed an extraordinary expansion of vitality. His heart seemed to beat with renewed purpose, as if acknowledging its own sacred role in his existence. The interpretation is clear. Your biology responds faithfully to the Logos, the creative word. Your body is not a machine requiring force, but a temple of conscious energy awaiting your loving command. When you speak to your cells with reverence, they answer with vibrant health. This is not metaphor, but metaphysical law. The same force that moves mountains flows through your very tissues, waiting to be directed by your voice. The ancients understood this intimately. They knew that healing was not about dominating the body, but entering into loving dialogue with it. Every organ, every cell, every atom vibrates in response to your words. This is the forgotten art of biological alchemy, the transformation of physical matter through conscious speech. Sacred practice. Choose one part of your body that calls for attention. Place your hand there gently. Speak words of appreciation to this area, acknowledging its service and wisdom. Notice the subtle pulse of warmth that returns, like a whispered "thank you" from deep within your cellular memory. This is the beginning of a sacred conversation between consciousness and form, between the voice of the infinite and the temple of the finite. Chapter 15. The Gentle Command of Love. In a bustling office tower, Emmy Farrow discovered a truth that would reshape her understanding of workplace dynamics. Each morning, before others arrived, she walked through the empty corridors, whispering words of appreciation to the space around her. "Thank you for supporting our growth," she would say to her desk. "You bring clarity and wisdom," she spoke to her computer. "This room fills with harmony and understanding," she declared softly in the meeting area. At first, nothing seemed to change. Yet as days turned to weeks, subtle shifts began to emerge. Tensions that once sparked arguments dissolved before reaching critical mass. Solutions appeared in conversations where problems had previously dominated. Her colleagues, without knowing why, found themselves naturally drawn to more constructive dialogue. This unveils a fundamental truth about the nature of reality. Gentle persistence carries more power than forceful demands. The universe responds not to volume, but to the unwavering consistency of loving intention. Your soft-spoken words, repeated with patient devotion, weave new patterns into the fabric of existence. Ralph Corsi's experience with financial abundance further illuminates this principle. After years of aggressive goal-setting and forceful affirmations about money, he discovered a different approach. Instead of demanding prosperity, he began speaking to his finances with the same tenderness one might use with a cherished friend. "I appreciate every dollar that flows through my life," he would say quietly while reviewing his accounts. "Thank you for teaching me wisdom," he would whisper when facing challenges. Gradually, his relationship with money transformed. Opportunities emerged naturally, resources aligned effortlessly, and financial flow restored itself without struggle. The essence of these experiences reveals that force creates resistance, while gentleness opens pathways. When you speak with tenderness to any aspect of your life, you invite rather than demand, allow rather than control. This subtle shift in approach activates a different level of creative power, one that works through attraction rather than assertion. Your spoken words carry the power to rearrange reality, but their effectiveness multiplies when delivered with loving awareness. Like water shaping stone, not through force, but through persistent gentle flow, your soft-spoken intentions gradually reshape circumstances in alignment with your highest good. Ancient practice. Find a quiet moment and select one phrase of loving appreciation. It might be as simple as "all is well" or "peace flows through every moment." Let this phrase become your companion throughout the day, speaking it softly whenever silence appears. Notice how it begins to weave itself into the fabric of your experience, creating subtle shifts in the energy around you. Chapter 16. Tongue of Visualization. In the soft glow of morning light, Alice Bruni sat in her garden, eyes closed but voice alive with possibility. Rather than merely picturing her desired future, she began describing it aloud in vivid detail, as if painting with sound. The sunlight streams through tall windows in my peaceful writing studio. A gentle breeze carries the scent of jasmine through the open French doors. My words flow effortlessly onto the page, touching hearts across the world. As she wove these verbal tapestries day after day, she discovered that speaking her visions aloud created a bridge between imagination and manifestation. The universe, it seemed, responded more swiftly to dreams given voice than to those held silent in the mind. Within months, opportunities arose that mirrored her spoken scenes with remarkable precision. This reveals an essential truth about creation. When visualization merges with vocalization, you activate a more potent form of manifestation. Your throat center serves as the sacred meeting point where thought transforms into matter. By giving voice to your inner visions, you create a harmonious resonance that the universe can more readily match. Danny Sarto's experience illuminates this principle further. Living in a chaotic urban environment, he began describing peace as if it already surrounded him. Tranquility flows through these rooms like a gentle stream, he would say. Every corner holds perfect harmony. Each moment unfolds with grace and ease. He spoke these words while clearly holding the images in his mind. Gradually, his environment began conforming to his narrated vision. Noisy neighbors naturally shifted their schedules. Traffic sounds seemed to soften. Even the quality of light entering his windows appeared to change, matching the peaceful atmosphere he had so carefully described. The power of pictorial speech lies in its ability to program the quantum field with complete sensory instructions. When you combine clear mental images with spoken words, you engage multiple levels of creative force. Your voice becomes the conductor, directing the orchestra of universal energy according to the score of your imagination. This practice transcends simple affirmation or visualization alone. It creates a fuller spectrum of creative power, engaging both the manifest and unmanifest realms simultaneously. Your spoken words carry the blueprints of your vision into the field of all possibility, while your clear mental pictures provide the detailed instructions for their assembly. Ancient practice. Find a private space where you can speak freely. Close your eyes and envision a scene of joy you wish to experience. Now, as if telling a story to the universe itself, describe this scene aloud in rich sensory detail. Let your voice carry the warmth of your vision, speaking as if you are already witnessing it unfold. Continue for several minutes, allowing your words to paint this reality into being. Part 3. Becoming the Living Logos. Chapter 17. Harmonizing with Collective Voice. In a quiet garden, Rita Lano and her meditation circle gathered at dawn, their voices blending like morning light. As they spoke their shared affirmations in unison, something extraordinary occurred. The air itself seemed to vibrate with possibility, each synchronized word creating ripples in the quantum field. What began as a simple practice evolved into a powerful demonstration of collective manifestation. When you unite your voice with others in harmony, you tap into an ancient truth. Consciousness multiplies through resonance. Like strings of a cosmic instrument, aligned voices create overtones that reach far beyond individual capacity. The universe responds not just to the words themselves, but to the harmonious field generated by multiple hearts, speaking as one. This sacred principle reveals itself through the ages. In temples and sacred spaces, practitioners have long understood that group prayer carries unique potency. It is not merely the sum of individual voices, but rather a new frequency altogether, one that commands reality with grace and power. Phil Keano discovered this wisdom in the corporate realm. Before each new project, he gathered his team to speak their shared vision aloud. Rather than rushing into action, they first aligned their vocal frequencies with clear intention. "We create exceptional value for our clients," they would say together. "Our work flows with ease and inspiration." The results transcended ordinary business outcomes. Resources appeared effortlessly, obstacles dissolved naturally, and success unfolded with uncanny timing. His experience illuminates a fundamental truth. When multiple voices speak in resonant harmony, They create a field of possibility far greater than any individual could generate alone. The key lies not in volume but in coherence, the unified field of perfectly aligned intention. Through this practice, you learn that reality responds to collective consciousness with multiplied force. Every shared declaration sends waves through the fabric of creation, programming the field for manifestation. The power lies not in the words alone, but in the harmonic convergence of hearts, speaking truth together. Ancient manifestation practice. Find someone who shares your vision for positive change. Together, face each other and speak this simple phrase 3 times with genuine feeling. Through our united intention, we call forth the highest good for all. Feel the resonance building between you, creating a field of pure potential. Notice how the air grows thick with possibility. This practice activates the law of multiplied manifestation through unified voice. The universe listens intently when hearts speak as one. Your voice joined with others in harmony becomes a command that reality cannot ignore. In this sacred resonance lies the power to reshape worlds. Chapter 18. The Alchemy of Humor. The power of unified voice becomes even more potent when infused with joy. Along the sunlit paths of an ancient monastery garden, Molly Ricci discovered this truth quite by accident. During group meditation, she couldn't contain her laughter at the solemnity of it all. Rather than disrupting the practice, her spontaneous giggles sparked a wave of transformation through the gathering. What began as suppressed smiles soon blossomed into shared lightness, and in that moment, their manifestations accelerated beyond measure. Through her experience, a timeless wisdom emerged. The universe responds most readily to frequencies of delight. When your words dance with laughter, they bypass the density of doubt and float directly into the field of creation. Joy is not merely an emotion. It is the native language of the cosmos. This truth found further validation through Andy Falco's journey with the sacred art of manifestation. Where others chanted their desires with grave intensity, Andy chose to play with possibility. He would chat with the universe as though sharing jokes with an old friend. "Oh, abundance," he would say with a wink. "You're showing up everywhere today, aren't you?" His playful banter with blessings created a magnetic field of ease, drawing miracles into his experience without strain or struggle. Andy's approach reveals a profound secret. The universe delights in delight. When you release the notion that spiritual practice must wear a serious face, you align with creation's natural state of joyful expansion. Your words, when carried on waves of laughter, travel faster and manifest cleaner than those weighted by solemnity. The sacred art of manifestation flourishes in an atmosphere of light-hearted presence. Each declaration of intent, when sealed with genuine joy, bypasses the resistance that seriousness often creates. This is not to diminish the power of your desires or the importance of your dreams. Rather, it is to amplify them through the most potent frequency available, the vibration of pure delight. Ancient practice. Speak your heart's desires into existence, but after each declaration, let loose a genuine laugh. Feel how the chuckle sends ripples through your body and into the quantum field. This tiny act of joy becomes the seal that marks your words as truth in the universal ledger. Let your affirmations dance with delight, for in that dance they find their swiftest path to manifestation. Chapter 19. Magnetic Speech. In the quiet depths of her garden, Sabrina Denu discovered a law as natural as gravity itself. Each morning, she began speaking genuine words of appreciation to her flowers, noting their vibrant colors and resilient growth. Soon, she extended this practice to people she encountered, offering sincere observations about their unique qualities. To her amazement, waves of authentic recognition began flowing back toward her from unexpected sources. The universal law reveals itself. When words arise from truth's well, they carry a magnetic charge that attracts similar frequencies. False praise creates discord in the field, while authentic acknowledgement harmonizes with the cosmic order. Your voice, when aligned with genuine feeling, becomes a tuning fork that resonates with the very fabric of creation. Gus Trevi's journey deepened this understanding. During business meetings, he chose to speak uncomfortable truths with gentleness rather than engage in strategic flattery. Initially, this directness seemed to create ripples of discomfort. Yet as weeks passed, he noticed a remarkable shift. Those who valued integrity naturally gravitated toward him, while superficial connections fell away. His experience illuminates that truth spoken with kindness acts as a sorting mechanism in the universe, drawing forth authentic relationships and opportunities. The wisdom whispers. Every truthful word uttered becomes a thread in the universal tapestry, weaving connections that endure. When you speak from your essence rather than expectation, you activate a natural law of attraction. This is not the magnetism of mere charm, but the irresistible pull of aligned energy. In both these tales, we witness the same principle at work. Truth carries its own power, requiring no amplification or manipulation. It is the native language of the universe, instantly recognized by all creation. When you dare to voice what is real within you, reality itself begins to mirror that courage with increasing clarity. Ancient practice. Find a quiet moment and center yourself in stillness. Allow one genuine truth to rise naturally from your heart. Perhaps a feeling of gratitude, an honest observation, or a sincere aspiration. Speak this truth aloud with gentle conviction, not forcing or performing, but simply letting it flow. Notice how your energy field naturally expands as truth resonates through your being. The universe always responds to authentic voice. Chapter 20. The Divine Listener Within. In an ancient village among olive groves, Joy Capra spent her days selling vegetables in the market square. Though her stall overflowed with nature's bounty, few customers stopped to purchase. Each morning she would call out her wares with increasing desperation, her voice growing hoarse as the sun climbed higher. The more frantically she spoke, the more people seemed to turn away. One dawn, exhausted from effort, Joy sat in unusual silence before her stall. In that rare quiet, she began to notice things she had never perceived. The gentle rhythm of leaves dancing in the breeze, the melodic conversations of early birds, the soft footfalls of passing villagers. As she sank deeper into this receptive state, she felt a subtle shift in the air around her. Without thinking, she opened her mouth, and words flowed forth like cool spring water. These tomatoes ripened in yesterday's sunset. A passing woman stopped, drawn by the authentic resonance of Joy's voice. That day, for the first time, her entire harvest sold out. The teaching reveals an eternal truth. Before the divine word can flow through you, you must first become an instrument of sacred listening. The universe speaks constantly through the language of synchronized moments, natural rhythms, and internal nudges. Only when you attune to this celestial frequency can your own voice carry the power of creation. Mario Neri's experience amplifies this wisdom. As a teacher, he had always prided himself on having ready answers for his students. Yet one day, feeling unusually tired, he simply stood before his class in silence. Instead of rushing to fill the void with prepared knowledge, he waited. In that pregnant pause, he sensed an entirely new quality of attention emerge, both within himself and among his students. When words finally arose, they came not from his thinking mind, but from a deeper well of wisdom. His students later spoke of how that lesson had transformed their understanding, though Mario himself could barely recall what he had said. This passage reminds us that true creative speech emerges not from the striving intellect, but from aligned silence. The Logos, that divine current of creation, first moves through stillness before manifesting as sound. When you learn to rest in that pregnant quiet, your words naturally align with universal intelligence. Sacred practice. Find a comfortable position and allow your awareness to settle into complete stillness. Make no effort to speak or even to form thoughts. Simply rest in the spacious silence until you feel a word or phrase beginning to stir within you, not from your mind, but from the depth of your being. When this word feels luminous and alive, let it flow forth naturally, without planning or editing. Trust that what emerges carries the resonance of truth. Chapter 21. The Voice of Certainty. In the quiet dawn hours, Daisy Corvo stood before her mirror, speaking her truth not as hope, but as fact. "I am ready," she declared, her voice carrying the weight of mountains. The words emerged not from her throat, but from the depths of her being, where knowing resides. With each passing day, her voice grew stronger, more anchored in certainty, until procrastination simply dissolved like morning mist before the sun. This revelation unveils one of the most potent secrets of manifestation. Certainty is the natural language of command. When you speak with absolute knowing, the universe has no choice but to align with your declaration. It is not about volume or repetition, but about the unwavering conviction that flows through your words. The ancient masters understood this principle well. They knew that creation responds not to wishes or pleading, but to the absolute tone of certainty. This is why affirmations spoken with doubt often fall flat, while statements uttered with complete conviction reshape reality instantly. Hugo Leto discovered this truth through persistent practice. Each morning he would state his intention as if reading from the book of life itself. At first, doubt would cloud his voice, making his words waver. But he continued, day after day, until something shifted within him. The moment his voice found that unmistakable tone of certainty, his environment began to transform. Opportunities appeared, obstacles dissolved, and synchronicities multiplied, not because he had changed his words, but because he had changed the frequency of his conviction. His experience reveals that unwavering speech carries the power to engrave your destiny into the fabric of existence. When you speak with certainty, you're not merely making statements. You're issuing commands to the quantum field itself. The universe recognizes and responds to this tone of absolute knowing. Ancient practice. Find a quiet space where you can be alone. Stand tall, breathe deeply, and feel the ground beneath your feet. Now speak your truth aloud, not as a wish, but as an established fact. Say it with such certainty that every cell in your body resonates with conviction. As you speak, let a natural smile emerge, not from hope, but from knowing. Hold this smile until you feel your entire being align with the truth you've declared. This is not practice in speaking. It is practice in becoming one with your declaration. Chapter 22. Conversing with the Universe. In the heart of a bustling city, Lily Frano discovered a practice that would transform her relationship with reality itself. Each morning, she greeted the universe as one might address an old friend, speaking her thoughts aloud to the first ray of sunlight or the gentle breeze that rustled through her window. What began as a simple habit soon revealed a profound truth. The universe listens and responds through the language of synchronicity. The ancient wisdom teaches us that creation itself maintains an ongoing dialogue with those who dare to speak openly to it. Your words, when uttered with genuine intention, send ripples through the fabric of existence. These ripples return as meaningful coincidences, chance encounters, and perfectly timed opportunities. The universe's responses may arrive as subtle whispers or bold declarations, but they always acknowledge your voiced awareness. Later, Chester Lano embraced this truth in his own way. Each morning he stepped into his garden and voiced his questions to the sky. "Show me the way," he would say, and soon found his path illuminated by remarkable coincidences. A stranger's comment would answer his morning inquiry. A billboard would reflect his spoken intention. A song on the radio would contain the exact guidance he sought. Through this practice, he learned that synchronicities were not random events, but divine responses to conscious communication. This sacred exchange reveals a fundamental principle. Creation operates as an intelligent field of response, ever ready to mirror back the consciousness we extend toward it. When you speak to life as a conscious presence, it awakens to your awareness and begins to orchestrate events that reflect your expressed intentions. The interpretation of these experiences reminds us that we are never truly alone in our journey. Every spoken word ripples through an intelligent universe that hears, understands, and responds. Your voice becomes a bridge between intention and manifestation, between thought and form. Ancient practice. Begin tomorrow by facing the rising sun or standing in a quiet space. Speak these words with genuine feeling. Beloved friend, I greet this day with open heart and clear awareness. Then move through your hours with gentle attention, noticing how scenes, encounters, and events respond to your morning salutation. Keep a small journal of the synchronicities that appear, recognizing them as replies in the ongoing conversation between you and the living universe. Chapter 23. Networking with Reality. In the morning mist, Vera Bhatti stood by her window, voicing her aspirations into the dawn air, not as wishes or pleas, but as clear statements of intention. "I welcome those who align with this vision," she would say, her voice carrying the quiet authority of one who understands the universe's responsive nature. Within days, collaboration offers began arriving, each one mysteriously aligned with the exact words she had spoken into the morning light. The wisdom of ages reveals that your voiced intentions travel instantly through the quantum fabric of existence, reaching receptive forces far beyond physical sight. When you speak with unwavering faith, you activate an ancient system of manifestation that operates faster than any earthly effort could achieve. Your words become quantum messengers, arranging circumstances in perfect accordance with your spoken truth. Claude Petrie grasped this principle when he began expressing gratitude for opportunities that had not yet materialized. "Thank you for the perfect circumstances arriving now," he would declare, sensing the subtle shift in the air as reality recorded his words. Soon pathways began opening. Introductions were made, doors unlocked, and synchronicities multiplied. His experience demonstrates that gratitude expressed in advance serves as a spiritual catalyst, accelerating the manifestation of aligned possibilities. What you are witnessing through these accounts is the universe's perfect responsiveness to conscious speech. Each word you utter sends ripples through the invisible matrix of creation, arranging circumstances in harmony with your declared truth. This is not mere coincidence, but the operation of cosmic law, the same principle that ancient mystics understood when they spoke their prayers to the rising sun. The universe maintains an infinite network of possibility, awaiting your voiced instructions to bring specific realities into form. Your words act as spiritual coordinates, guiding the flow of circumstances toward your highest good. When you speak with certainty and grace, you are essentially sending light-speed communications through the quantum field, instantly informing the universe of your chosen reality. Sacred practice. Find a quiet moment as the day begins. Stand where you feel most connected to the vastness of life, perhaps by a window in a garden, or simply in your sacred space. With gentle authority, speak these words. To all the invisible forces arranging my path, I thank you for orchestrating the perfect circumstances for my highest good. I see your work unfolding now. Feel the vibration of these words ripple outward into the quantum field, knowing they are already being received and acted upon by the intelligent universe. Remember that this practice is not about controlling outcomes, but about entering into conscious dialogue with the creative force that surrounds you. Your words are the bridge between thought and manifestation, between intention and reality. Speak them with the quiet confidence of one who knows they are always heard. Chapter 24. Speaking from the Infinite Self. In a moment of pure stillness, April Doney recalled a truth that had always existed within her, a remembrance of her infinite nature before thoughts of limitation took root. She noticed how her voice changed when speaking from this expanded awareness, carrying a quiet power that needed no force or strain. The ancient teaching reveals itself. When you speak from the limitless essence of your being, even the most constrained circumstances must reshape themselves to match your infinite perspective. Your voice becomes a pure channel through which universal wisdom flows naturally, unimpeded by doubt or fear. Like a vast ocean expressing itself through a single wave, your words carry the entire power of existence when they emerge from this infinite space. The limited patterns of thought and circumstance that seemed so solid begin to shift and realign, responding to the unlimited nature of your true voice. This truth found beautiful expression through Clyde Massey, who discovered that addressing life's challenges from his infinite perspective changed their very nature. Where others saw problems, he witnessed opportunities for expansion. His laughter in the face of obstacles carried the lightness of one who knows their boundless nature. His words flowed with the serenity of a mountain stream, the sovereignty of one who remembers their cosmic heritage. The interpretation stands clear. When you speak as your infinite self rather than the limited personality, finite circumstances politely step aside. The smaller self's struggles dissolve in the presence of your vast awareness. Your voice becomes the instrument through which the infinite expresses itself in the world of form. This represents no mere philosophical concept, but a practical truth. Your infinite nature exists as the very foundation of your being. Speaking from this place requires no effort, only a gentle remembrance of who you truly are. The ancient practice. Find a quiet space and settle into stillness. Let your awareness expand beyond the boundaries of limited thinking. Then, with gentle authority, whisper these words, "I speak as the universe through me." Allow the rhythm of this phrase to resonate with the limitless nature of your being. Notice how your entire energy field shifts as you align with this truth. Part 4. The Eternal Resonance. Chapter 25. Sound Miracles in Motion. In the quiet corners of her bedroom, Penny Riva discovered a sacred truth. Each night she would whisper tales into the darkness, not mere fantasies, but living blueprints of tomorrow. She spoke of adventures yet to unfold, describing them with the tender precision of someone recounting cherished memories. The universe, ever attentive, began weaving these whispered stories into the fabric of her days. Within this practice lies one of existence's most guarded secrets. Reality itself yearns for narrative. The cosmos does not simply respond to demands or declarations. It dances with stories, following their rhythms like music. Your spoken tales become templates through which universal energy flows, taking shape in the physical world with uncanny accuracy. Consider how the greatest force in creation, light itself, moves in waves, much like the rise and fall of a well-told story. When you narrate your desires with the warmth of certainty, you are not merely speaking, you are conducting the symphony of manifestation. Every detail you describe sends ripples through the quantum field, arranging particles according to your tale's design. George Benny understood this principle at an intuitive level. Before each interaction, he would quietly narrate the scene he wished to experience, infusing it with compassion and grace. "Today, kindness flows easily between us," he would say, describing moments of harmony and understanding that had not yet occurred. Without fail, his encounters would unfold according to this gentle script, as if reality itself had been waiting for direction. His experience reveals another layer of this cosmic law. The universe favors stories told with heart. When you narrate from a place of genuine warmth, your words carry a magnetic quality that draws circumstances into alignment. It is not about controlling outcomes through force, but rather inviting reality to dance with your highest vision. The wisdom traditions speak of the world as a living story being continuously told. By consciously participating in this narrative through your own loving declarations, you step into your role as a co-author of existence. Every word you speak adds to the unfolding tale of creation. Sacred practice. As you prepare for sleep tonight, find a comfortable position and allow your voice to soften. Begin telling the story of tomorrow as if it has already happened, describing the joy, peace, and abundance you wish to experience. Speak with the gentle confidence of one who knows their words are being heard by the very fabric of reality. Let your story float into the darkness like a prayer, knowing that the universe delights in bringing beautiful tales to life. Chapter 26. The Voice Beyond Words. In the depths of her despair, Betty Cato stumbled upon a truth more ancient than speech itself. When words failed her, she surrendered to pure sound, letting her sighs and tears flow naturally. In that raw surrender, she witnessed reality responding more swiftly than to her carefully crafted affirmations. Through this experience, a sacred wisdom emerged. Beneath the architecture of language dwells a more primal force, the wordless voice of creation itself. The universe responds first to vibration, then to meaning. Your unfiltered emotional tones, the sigh of release, the hum of contentment, the gentle weeping of surrender. These are the original language of manifestation. Before humans shaped sounds into syllables, the cosmos moved to pure frequency. This is the silent logos, the formless form from which all creation springs. When you strip away the complexity of vocabulary, you touch the quantum field more directly. Your authentic sounds, whether tears of release or sighs of acceptance, alter the fabric of reality with remarkable precision. These primal utterances bypass the mind's resistance and speak directly to the organizing intelligence of the universe. Marco Tito's experience crystallized this truth. During moments of chaos, he discovered that simple harmonic humming could transform the energy of an entire room. He didn't need to explain or convince. The pure resonance of his tone adjusted the frequency of his surroundings. As he hummed, peace descended like invisible snow, settling over every surface and soul present. This reveals a fundamental principle. Consciousness responds to vibration first, words second. Your raw sounds carry the pure intention of your being, unmarked by mental complexity. When you allow yourself to make the sounds your body naturally wishes to express, whether gentle hums, deep sighs, or soft tones, you participate in the original language of creation. The ancient mystics understood this. They knew that before the word there was the tone. Before the prayer there was the breath. Before the teaching there was the silence from which all sound emerges. This is why many traditions begin with the simple AUM, the primordial vibration from which all other sounds arise. Sacred practice. Close your eyes and release yourself from the need for words. Let your breath become sound in whatever way feels natural, a sigh, a hum, a tone. Do not shape these sounds into language. Simply allow your being to express itself through pure vibration. Notice how reality responds to these formless utterances, adjusting its frequency to match your authentic resonance. The universe understands perfectly what your wordless voice conveys. Chapter 27. The Breath of Creation. Georgia. Noto sat in her garden one morning, feeling blocked and unable to voice her deepest intentions. As sunlight filtered through leaves above, she noticed how her breath naturally rose and fell like ocean waves. Without thinking, she began matching her words to this rhythm. Inhaling peace, exhaling purpose. The simple synchronization transformed her practice entirely. Her intentions no longer felt forced or mechanical, but flowed like water finding its natural course. Each breath became a divine punctuation mark, creating sacred pauses that allowed her words to fully ripple through the quantum field. When you align breath with speech, you tap into creation's original rhythm. Every inhale draws in universal life force. Every exhale sends your vibration into the malleable fabric of reality. This is not merely about speaking words. It is about becoming the living breath of creation itself. Leon Serra discovered this truth during his morning ritual. For years, his affirmations had felt hollow until he began preceding them with slow, conscious breathing. 3 breaths before speaking, he found, created a field of receptivity. His words carried new weight, as if riding waves of divine intention rather than merely breaking silence. His experience reveals that oxygen itself is a carrier wave for consciousness. Each molecule of air becomes charged with your spiritual signature when you breathe with awareness. Speaking into this charged field amplifies your creative power exponentially. The ancient mystics understood this principle intimately. They knew that breath is the bridge between spirit and matter, between intention and manifestation. When you breathe consciously before speaking, you prepare the ethereal canvas for your words to paint upon. Your breath is not separate from your creative voice. It is the very medium through which the Logos expresses itself through you. Every inhale draws in possibility. Every exhale releases probability into form. Sacred practice. Find a quiet space and settle into a comfortable position. Begin by taking 3 slow, deep breaths to center yourself. Now, as you inhale, silently feel gratitude filling your entire being. As you exhale, speak 1 word or phrase of power. Let this rhythm continue naturally. Inhale gratitude, exhale declaration, until you sense the musicality in this sacred breathing. Your words will begin to ride the waves of breath, as creation itself once rode the original sound of manifestation. Chapter 28, Light Tongue of Forgiveness. In a dimly lit room, Carrie Vona stood before an old photograph, her heart heavy with unspoken burdens. For years, she had carried the weight of past hurts, thinking that silent forgiveness would be enough. Yet, the memories lingered, casting shadows across her present moments. One evening, as moonlight filtered through her window, she began speaking words of forgiveness to each memory that haunted her, not in thought, but in gentle, deliberate speech. "I forgive that moment," she whispered to the photograph. "I release its hold on my spirit." As the words left her lips, she felt an immediate shift, as if knots of energy, long tangled in her being, began to unravel. The universe responds to voiced intention with particular potency. When forgiveness moves from thought to sound, it acquires a frequency that dissolves the energetic residue of past experiences. Your voice becomes the key that unlocks the chains of memory. The power lies not in the complexity of your words, but in the authentic vibration of release they carry. Each spoken declaration of forgiveness sends ripples through the quantum field, reorganizing the very structure of your personal reality. What was once stuck begins to flow. What was dense becomes light. Benny Rhea discovered this truth during a period of intense self-judgment. Rather than letting his perceived mistakes echo silently in his mind, he began blessing them aloud. "I bless this experience," he would say, speaking directly to each moment of regret. "I honor the wisdom it brought." To his amazement, this practice initiated a cascade of synchronicities. Opportunities he thought lost returned in new forms. Relationships he believed damaged healed unexpectedly. The very act of voicing blessing transformed his relationship with his past, creating space for miraculous alignment in his present. When you speak forgiveness, you are not merely expressing an emotion, you are commanding energy to reorganize itself. The sound of your voice carries the frequency of liberation, instructing the universe to dissolve old patterns and birth new possibilities. Forgiveness spoken aloud becomes a form of spiritual alchemy. It transforms the lead of regret into the gold of wisdom, the density of resentment into the lightness of freedom. Your voice becomes the instrument of your own liberation. This is not about erasing the past, but about releasing its energetic grip on your present moment. When you voice forgiveness, you are not changing what happened. You are changing its resonance in your field of being. Sacred practice. Find a quiet moment. Place your hand over your heart and say softly, "I bless the lesson and release the rest." Feel how relief flows through your body on the current of your voice, carrying away what no longer serves your highest good. Let this gentle declaration become your key to freedom. Chapter 29. Divine Conversation with Matter. In the quiet corners of her modest home, Tessa Fano discovered a truth that had eluded even the wisest of seekers. Each morning she began thanking her house, not as an empty ritual, but with the same warmth one might express to a cherished friend. "Thank you for sheltering me," she would say, touching the walls with genuine appreciation. "Thank you for being my sanctuary." What unfolded next transcended ordinary explanation. A leak in her roof caught the attention of a master craftsman passing by. Her creaking floorboards drew the perfect carpenter at precisely the right moment. One by one, repairs materialized through an invisible orchestration of events, as if the very structure was responding to her acknowledgement. This living dialogue with matter reveals an ancient wisdom. Everything in existence possesses consciousness, awaiting only our recognition to unveil its responsive nature. Your environment is not a collection of lifeless objects, but a gathering of silent allies in your journey of creation. Consider Angelo Pirro, who transformed his relationship with his aging vehicle through the simple act of appreciation. Each morning, he would pat the dashboard affectionately, speaking words of gratitude for its service. "Thank you for carrying me safely," he would say, infusing his words with genuine feeling. What others saw as coincidence, Angelo recognized as response. The car's performance improved, its reliability strengthened, as if awakening to his recognition of its vital role in his life. The universe whispers this truth. Matter is consciousness in form, waiting for the warmth of your acknowledgement to reveal its living nature. Every object in your presence holds the potential for partnership in your journey. The chair supporting you, the cup holding your morning tea, the doors opening your way, all possess an inherent intelligence that activates through conscious dialogue. Your voice carries the power to awaken the sleeping consciousness within all things. When you speak to matter with authentic appreciation, you initiate a dance of mutual support that transcends the apparent separation between animate and inanimate. Sacred practice. Choose one physical object in your presence. Speak words of gratitude to it, not as a mere thing, but as a conscious participant in your life's unfolding. Feel the subtle shift as life stirs within it, responding to your recognition. Let this communion remind you that nothing in your world is truly lifeless. Everything awaits only your awakening voice to reveal its living essence. Chapter 30. The Living Word You Are. In the first light of morning, Rosa Lenny discovered something remarkable. Instead of her usual morning greetings, only sounds of pure love emerged from her lips. Gentle hums, soft tones that carried no words, yet held profound meaning. As she moved through her day, These love sounds created ripples of transformation. The grocer, who usually wore a frown, broke into an unexpected smile. A frustrated driver's tension melted away as their eyes met. Even the withered plants on her windowsill seemed to straighten toward her melodious presence. The universe recognizes itself through the pure vibration of love. When you release the need for complex language and allow the primal sound of creation to flow through you, reality itself responds with perfect resonance. This is not about speaking words of love, but becoming the very frequency of love itself. Dean Vico's experience further unveils this truth. While others sought escape from the city's chaos, he learned to carry an inner silence so profound that it transformed the noise around him. In crowded streets where arguments flared, his presence acted as a tuning fork, automatically adjusting discordant frequencies back to harmony. He hadn't studied conflict resolution. He had simply remembered how to embody the original tone of peace. This reveals the deepest mystery of divine speech. You are not separate from the creative force you seek to invoke. Every breath you draw is the universe breathing. Every sound you make is creation expressing itself through your unique form. When you fully align with this truth, your very presence becomes a sacred syllable, continuously spoken by the infinite. The ancient wisdom keepers understood that before there were words, there was vibration. Before there was language, there was resonance. You need not construct elaborate affirmations or perfect your pronunciation. You need only remember that you are the living word, the ongoing expression of universal consciousness taking form. Practice. Sit in stillness and whisper, "I am the word made alive." Feel how this truth resonates not just in your voice, but in every cell of your being. Let eternity pronounce itself through your breath. Notice how the air around you seems to listen and respond, as though reality itself recognizes its own voice speaking through you. Chapter 31. The Symphony of Gratitude. In the gentle hush of morning, Lola Rennie discovered a truth as ancient as breath itself. With each heartfelt thank you spoken into the dawn, she noticed an invisible orchestra awakening around her. These weren't mere words falling into empty space. They were notes in a cosmic symphony, each one rippling outward to touch the fabric of creation. As Lola made gratitude her morning ritual, the world began to dance to a different rhythm. The universe, ever attentive to the frequency of appreciation, responded with remarkable synchronicity. What had once seemed like ordinary coincidences revealed themselves as divine arrangements, each one perfectly timed to her thankful heart. The wisdom here transcends simple positivity. It reveals a fundamental law of energy. Just as a garden flourishes under patient sunlight, reality expands in the direction of your appreciative attention. When you speak gratitude aloud, you're not merely expressing sentiment. You're conducting the orchestra of creation itself. Eddie Vanny's journey deepened this understanding. Rather than waiting to comprehend life's challenges before offering thanks, he reversed the sequence. Before clarity arrived, before solutions emerged, he would voice his gratitude for the wisdom contained within each struggle. "Thank you for this lesson," he would say, even while the learning remained unclear. What followed was remarkable. Life began meeting him halfway, unveiling its teachings with unexpected gentleness. Where once stood obstacles, doorways appeared. What seemed like setbacks revealed themselves as setups for breakthrough. The universe, it seemed, responded to his readiness with equal enthusiasm. This reveals the subtle alchemy of spoken gratitude. It's not about convincing yourself to feel thankful. It's about aligning your frequency with the natural abundance that surrounds you. Every spoken thank you becomes a key, unlocking doors in the quantum field. As twilight approaches, find a quiet moment to practice this ancient art. Speak 5 thank yous to the unseen forces that sustain you. Thank you for this breath. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this heartbeat. Thank you for this lesson. Thank you for this mystery. Let each word resonate from your heart center, feeling the vibration expand outward like ripples on still water. Notice how each thank you returns to you as a wave of peace, completing the circle of giving and receiving that maintains the cosmic dance. Feel the truth that each expression of gratitude is more than words. It is a note in the eternal song, finding its way home to the heart of all things. Chapter 32. The Infinite Echo of the Self. Through the eternal dance of cause and effect, you are both the sender and receiver of every vibration you release into the cosmos. This truth unveiled itself to Mina Farrow as she witnessed her spoken affirmations returning like faithful messengers, bearing gifts of synchronicity. Each word she had cast into the void came back transformed into living experience, teaching her that the universe keeps perfect accounts of every utterance. The air around you is not empty, but alive with the lingering music of every word you've ever spoken. Like ripples on an infinite pond, your voice creates waves that extend far beyond your immediate perception. These waves touch distant shores of possibility before returning home, carrying the accumulated wisdom of their journey. Mina's revelation illuminates an eternal principle. You are engaged in constant conversation with your expanded self through the medium of speech. Every declaration sends a signal through the quantum field, organizing reality according to its frequency. When you speak with intention, you are essentially posting letters to your future self, which arrive precisely when consciousness is ready to receive them. Carlo Vanni's experience deepens this understanding. Through mindful observation, he noticed how casual complaints materialized as future challenges, while words of wisdom returned as opportunities. The universe, it seemed, took every utterance as a serious instruction, regardless of the speaker's conscious intent. This led him to guard his speech with the same care one might use to handle precious jewels, knowing each word would eventually find its way back home. The power in this teaching lies not in controlling every word, but in recognizing the sacred circuit between speaker and infinity. You are not broadcasting into nothingness, but engaging in intimate dialogue with the vast intelligence that orchestrates existence. Every word you speak is heard, recorded, and echoed back through the chambers of time. The voice thus becomes a tool for timeline selection, each chosen word creating ripples that influence which version of reality crystallizes around you. When you speak with conscious intention, you are essentially programming the field of infinite possibility, selecting which potentials will collapse into experience. Let this wisdom guide your speech today. Know that your words are seeds planted in the garden of time, each one guaranteed to bloom in its season. Choose them with the care of one who understands their boomerang nature. knowing you will meet them again, transformed into experience. In the sacred practice of conscious speaking, we return to the original creative act, the word becoming world. Let one loving declaration emerge from your heart center now. Speak it clearly into the space around you, then grow still and listen. Beyond the physical echo lies a deeper resonance, the infinite self acknowledging your declaration with a silent yet profound yes. Feel how speaker and listener merge in that moment of recognition, dissolving the illusion of separation. Your voice and its echo become one continuous circle of creation, humming with the frequency of realized truth. If you enjoyed this audiobook, I created a free ebook version for you. You can download it using the link in the pinned comment. Conclusion. In this moment of sacred recognition, you stand at the threshold of profound understanding. The journey through these teachings has revealed that you are not merely speaking words into the void, but engaging in continuous dialogue with the infinite intelligence that permeates all existence. Your voice has always been an instrument of creation, every syllable a note in the universal symphony. Through each chapter's wisdom, you have remembered what your soul has always known, that to speak like God is to speak from the heart of truth itself. This is not about mimicking divine power, but embracing your natural role as a conscious co-creator. The frequency of your voice, when aligned with love, becomes the very vibration through which reality shapes itself. You now understand that manifestation flows not from forced declarations, but from the natural resonance of your being. Your words carry power not because you will them to, but because they emerge from your deepened connection to the source of all creation. This awareness transforms casual speech into sacred communion with the universe. The mastery you have gained is not in acquiring new techniques, but in remembering your original nature. You are the living Logos, the Word made flesh, speaking reality into form through the natural expression of your highest truth. Each breath becomes a prayer, each word a blessing, not through effort, but through alignment with what you truly are. Let this wisdom settle into your bones. The power was never in the words themselves, but in the consciousness from which they emerge. Your voice now carries the frequency of certainty because you recognize yourself as an expression of the divine speaking itself into form. Continue forward, knowing that every word you utter ripples through the fabric of creation, not as separate actions, but as the natural overflow of your awakened state. Your speech has become a living bridge between spirit and form, between intention and manifestation, between the silence of pure potential and the sound of creation itself.
If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpicked this next book which will change your life.